Mr. Amos, thank you for having me in your home and
You're welcome.
for agreeing to tell us your story. Could I know I just learned a little bit about you, but can you tell us where were you born?
Born in Linville, Louisiana.
By the Tesh.
On Bayou Tesh.
That's
Yes.
special place. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born. I was christened Catholic.
Christian Catholic.
Catholic at
Baptized
St.
Catholic.
Leo the Great Day.
That's okay.
Right.
I haven't heard of that church.
Oh, it's beautiful there.
I'm going to have to go by there.
Yes, well, I grew up on that bayou there. That old house still up.
What was that like growing up on the bayou?
Beautiful.
I can imagine.
We raised everything. We fished. We lived off of fish daily if we wanted to eat fresh fish.
And that's nothing like that. That's wonderful.
I know how to make cages for fishing.
Really?
I know how to make. I can make you a trap, and you.
So you didn't just use fishing poles.
I don't need that. You don't need
You had
that.
a trap.
You don't need that.
Okay.
I learned that from a kid.
And you
I
know how to
can make a
it?
trap for you, and you don't need to get out there with no pole. You just go out there and throw it down in the river, on the side of the river,
I would love that.
and you put something in it.
Yes. Little bait.
Yeah. It's old meat or something.
Yes.
And then the fish go in there.
Nice.
And then you just pull it every morning. You go there and get fish
Yes.
out.
Yes.
And that
That's
way.
amazing. That's fine.
This one here.
Oh, here's another call.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
Okay.
She missed me one. She called me on the other one.
Gotcha.
Good morning. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can put the phone up. I can't hardly hear you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, baby.
Do you have some solid tapes and paper towels?
Did I have what?
Solid tapes and paper towels, Daddy.
No, I got to get some more. I'm down to the last now.
Is that the one that we have bought?
Oh, that's going through that. We're on to the last, baby, the last rolls. But I was planning on getting some more. Don't worry about that. Yeah, 'cause it lasted until now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, I was just talking to find out if you
Mm-hmm. Well, what you planning? You want to get some from Sam's?
I will probably get some.
Well, whenever. So that way I won't go. I won't get it because I was going to just try to find a large one here. But that, what you had brought from Sam, that lasts under a month. It's been some time.
All right.
Yeah. Okay then.
All right.
Not yet, baby. I hadn't had no call yet. Did they ever call you yet?
No, Daddy. They called me.
Oh, okay.
Whenever they call me, they call you.
Yeah. Okay.
At the same time.
You're right.
They'll probably know the time.
Okay.
So I'll let you know. If you hear something, call me.
Yeah, I will. Yes.
Okay. All right, then. Don't forget about your appointment
On Tuesday. Yeah.
the 17th.
Yeah. 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 Dr. Luke. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, baby. Thank you for calling. Have a nice day. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's good.
That's my daughter. She worried about what I need.
I can imagine. Yeah, kids are like that.
Got 7 of them.
7 children?
Yes.
All boys and
5
girls?
sons and 2 daughters.
My goodness. Are they all here in DeQuincy?
No.
Where are they?
One here for a while
Okay.
because he's under the doctor.
Okay.
Yeah, so he came here from Beaumont.
Okay.
And he's under a doctor here.
Okay.
He's here for that doctor a while, and he going back.
Okay.
That's the youngest one.
Wow.
He's
How old is he?
58 years old.
58,
Joe,
okay.
the boy.
All right.
We had the 2 girls first, and 5 boys after.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Now she's retired as RN.
The
Right, the one I just
daughter
got
right
through
here is
talking
retired.
at university.
What did she?
She was chief of nurses at university in Lafayette.
Really, UL Lafayette, the chief of nursing.
Yeah, she's retired. She's
Wow.
71 years old.
What an amazing vocation.
Yes.
My sister is also a nursing, a master.
And I got so many youngsters that when I was driving the school bus,
You drove a school bus.
18 years,
My gosh.
when I had my shop.
What shop? What?
See the big building there?
Yes. Yeah.
That's why I made a fortune and educated them out of.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I had it from 77 to 2010. And my wife had dementia. That's how I closed it.
Got you.
Whole thing, she passed away in 2002.
I'm sorry.
The last or 09.
09. Okay.
Then,
All right.
yeah, because we buried her in 2010.
Okay.
And I had remarried again and moved to Lake Charles.
Wow. Okay.
3 years later.
Okay.
And she passed away with the same condition I got, heart condition.
Now you were in Leonville until then?
Yeah.
You just moved here from Leonville?
I came here for a job
Okay.
in
Gotcha.
51. I came visit my 2 brothers building in the 40s, building them bridges.
Yes.
You know, all them bridges going to past Stark, Louisiana.
Yes.
My 2 brothers
built-
was on there.
Really?
Then I came to visit them,
Okay.
and they had plenty of work.
Okay.
But I was at DC Pontiac and Cadillac dealer then for
Okay.
$30 a week.
Wow. So here in DeQuincy.
Yeah, Opelousas.
Opelousas. Okay. All right.
And then I liked it, and I decided to just come on back.
Come on here.
And then I went to work a while with them.
Yes.
I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
It was too hard to work,
Yes.
and my passion was cars.
Okay. So what'd you do?
Mechanic. At 16 years old, I was putting engines together by myself.
That's
I started at 12 years of age, going to school and cleaning a mechanic shop for a guy in Leonville.
Of course.
Dore's Garage.
Dore's, okay.
Yes.
I don't know it, but
Them Dore's.
okay.
D-O-R-E.
D-O-R-E?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
Frenchman.
Dore.
You know I'm French too, par français, oui.
I don't. I
I don't speak French.
No.
And that's
I know if bonjour and comment ça va?
Merci.
Yes,
Thank
merci,
you.
And,
Uh-huh.
yeah, but not too much. I don't like that. I wish I would have learned more.
My parents couldn't hardly talk English.
It's okay.
So I grew up, first word I said was in
It was
French.
French, okay. A lot of people that I've talked to around your
I grew up with, you remember Jules Spire, the Bishop of
Yes, Bishop Spire.
We grew up together.
Really? You know him.
Huh?
You knew him.
Yeah, you know I was on that, you know where St. Charles at?
St. Charles Parish? Oh, Miss Moss Bluff.
The big place.
Yes.
I was on that when we started that with him.
Really?
But Mr. Edgar Perkins was our attorney
I've heard
from
the
him.
name. Yes.
And Marie was the secretary, his wife. Well, I was there with them too when they bought the land there.
Nice.
That's 59 acres there. I don't know,
Okay.
on that bayou.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place.
You've been back there.
I have been once, yes. It's been a while.
And they had a special room there
Yeah.
for Edgar Perkins and Marie.
Really?
And when I go to retreat, well, that's the room I use.
Oh my goodness.
That's a special room for me.
When do you go to retreat? You do it once a year?
Once a year, whatever chance I get,
Nice.
when I want to relax.
Yes.
I don't want to be there myself.
Yes.
I go to a silent retreat.
Yes.
That means no phone, no radio, no nothing.
Exactly. Sometimes that's helpful.
That's it.
Yes.
And that's how I find myself, you know,
Yes.
and it relaxed me,
Yes.
enlightened my mind,
Yes.
you know.
Yes. They are, yeah, that silence and the
Yeah.
stillness. It's
Yeah, silence is gold.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So you began cleaning a mechanic shop, and then you
It started cleaning up at 12 years old when I went to that guy. And I told him I needed a job. That man looked at me. You need a job? I said, yes, sir. Boy, what can you do? I said, I know how to clean up. That's what I told him.
And he said,
The man looked at me. I guess he felt sorry for me.
"Oh my God."
He had a good heart.
Yes. What was his name?
Lawrence Dorey.
Okay.
That was the owner.
We're going to remember him.
Lawrence Dorey.
Good man.
And he hired me. And I stayed there. I stayed there until I was 60. I was almost 18.
Okay.
18 years old
Wow.
when I left and worked a little while for his brother. Had a welding shop,
Yes.
and I worked with his brother.
So you learned how to weld?
I know how to weld too. I messed around there with Charlie Dorey,
Okay.
his brother,
We're going to remember both of them.
and Charlie. And then from there, I went to D.C.
To where?
D.C. Pontiac and Cadillac dealer,
Got you. DC.
DIESI.
Yes. Okay. I've heard that name.
Yeah, and I stayed there until 51. I started there in the late 40s.
My goodness.
51 is when I left I came to DeQuincy.
Okay.
I decided to come and get.
Who was here? Why did you come here?
My two brothers was working on that
The
bridges.
bridge. Okay. By Starks. Okay. And did you help them? with
Worked
that?
a while on the
Okay.
bridges,
Okay.
but it was so hard,
Yeah.
and that's not what I wanted to do.
What did you want to do?
Get back to cars.
Nice.
And I left there.
Okay.
It came to a guy that had a mobile station.
Here in DeQuincy.
Doing the Willard Tremie.
Trimmy?
Tremies
Okay.
had a service station.
Okay.
And he hired me there for a while, doing tires and washing cars and greasing
Yes.
and stuff. But I wanted to do mechanic.
Yes.
So I went to the Ford company there.
Okay.
We had Richard Motor Company there
All right.
at that time, right where the jailhouse at there.
Really? Yes. Okay. I've been there. Yes.
That was the Ford company there.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yes, sir. They tore it down. The church had it.
Yes.
Then they tore it down. That storm demolished it so bad.
Okay.
So then what I did, I went to ask them for a job.
By the Ford place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the shop foreman, I remember him too, back there in 52.
Okay.
Yeah, it was George Markentale.
George Markentale?
George Markentale.
Okay. Did he give you a job?
And what he did, I asked him for a mechanic job.
Okay.
At that time, it wasn't no mechanic job for us.
Okay.
You know that, eh?
Okay, I didn't know that.
It wasn't none for us.
Okay.
All we could do was clean up.
Got you. Okay.
And so I told him I needed a job bad, you know, because I tried to find me somewhere to stay too.
Yes.
And he said, well, listen, I got a little cleaning up. Come Monday. I came Monday, and I just started cleaning up.
Okay.
I started cleaning up. And then by me cleaning up, these guys was working on them cars.
Yes.
And they were having trouble making them run.
Okay.
And I was cleaning up, and I go up there and talk to them, you know.
Yes.
Say, man, I did this, I did that on it. It still won't run. And when he told me one thing about a car, I'll never forget that man's name, Mr. Lee Beasley.
Okay.
Lee Beasley told me, he said, you know one thing? I put a new car on it. I said, what you did, Mr. Beasley? I put a new car on it. I said, Mr. Beasley, was it running before you put the car? You said, yeah, but it wasn't running right. I said, Mr. Beasley, when the car go out, it don't run.
Yes.
So it didn't need the car.
Yes.
What do it need then? If how you know so much about a car? I said, I'm a master mechanic. I've been on them since I was 12 years old messing with them.
Yes.
He said, what? I said, yes, sir. And he said, what I'd have to do to that car? I said, listen. I said, who was running that car? He says to me, an old lady called Miss Collins had that car, was a 49 Ford Flathead.
Okay.
And she wasn't running it fast enough to blow all that carbon, and it was low octane gas.
Of course, yes.
And it clogged the system up
Yes.
in the head and the lines and stuff.
Sure.
It wasn't getting there right.
Yes.
And I told him what he had to do. I told him you're going to have to take the intake off, clean it out. You got to take both heads off,
Yes.
clean it out, put new gaskets and stuff on it. And I said she'd be ready to go. He said, well, what? I'm going to have to do all that? I said, sir, I said, if you don't do it, it ain't going to run.
Right.
So he went to the shop foreman. So the shop foreman, boy, how you know so much about a car? Do you believe I've been working on them motors and things since I was 12 years old? He said, what? I said, now, if you want to fix the car, you're going to have to do what I told Mr. Beasley to do. He said, well, I'll have to call Miss Collins and tell Miss Collins what we're going to have to do. We have to go in the engine to get it right. So call her and tell her. So, okay. He told us, he said, Lee, go ahead and do it. He had talked to Miss Collins. Miss Collins said, I need my car, I want it running.
Yes.
So he took this off and cleaned everything up.
You did this?
No.
Somebody else?
No, I wasn't doing no mechanic then.
Okay.
I was
yes.
just the cleanup boy then.
Yes. So somebody else did what you
And
asked.
Mr. Beasley, the one that was having problems, took the engine down.
Okay.
And he did all what I told him to do.
Okay.
He even had to change some vacuum lines too, because they were plugged up.
Okay.
Because I told him he might have that vacuum line plugged up too.
Okay.
And he replaced all that. He put that car back together. Hit the start on that car. That thing running just as quiet as a watch.
Goodness.
And I told him, I said, Mr. Beasley, go in that alley there. Go in that alley, I say, bash the gas and release the clutch and see if it's going to go.
Yes.
The smoke the tires. The tires smoke.
Zzz.
Yeah. Give it to the old lady, picked the car up. She came back the next day with the car.
Okay.
And I thought maybe it was something wrong with it that she found wrong. She wanted to know what happened to her car. That car runs different, and she can't hardly hit the accelerator and go too fast.
Okay.
So, Mr. Bucketail told her, he told us how to fix your car. That lady looked at me, you did that? He said, that car. I said, ma'am, I'm going to tell you. I said, ma'am, please. I said, make sure before you go, you give it gas that you got room.
Yes.
Be careful. I said, when you hit it, it's going to go.
Yes.
I said, take it easy.
Yes.
on it. I said, because that call run now.
Yes.
And she said, well, I'm telling you, and you mean you do that? I said, yes, ma'am.
They learned something that day.
So what do you think happened?
What?
He told the boss man, Mr. Rudolph Rishaw,
Yes.
about how I could do mechanic work. And what I did. So although man Rishaw was worried about production, he wanted to make money at his place.
Yes.
He said, George, he said, you get a stall ready and put that boy to work.
How old were you?
How
old were you?
I was 21 at that time.
Wow. Okay.
52.
1952.
1952,
Okay.
yeah.
Got you. Okay.
So that's when I started
That's
that.
when you, okay. When did you open your garage?
Okay. I'm going to tell you what happened.
Okay.
I worked there at the Richard Motor Company. Okay. And then the old man his wife had passed away.
Okay.
And he took down. And he decided he was going to sell the place.
Okay.
So he sold the shop, that's why. And I didn't stay with the man owned it.
Got you. Okay.
I didn't stay with him.
Sure.
I left and I went to Orange, Texas.
Okay.
And I went to work for the Livingston Shipbuilding Company.
Livingston
Yeah.
Shipbuilding Company.
Yeah, that, and then Gulfport Shipyard in Port Arthur.
Wow.
And then I ended up in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Goodness. What did you do there?
Working on them ship, interior.
Okay. Got you.
Do all that painting and cleaning and
Was that during the 1950s or when was that?
no, that when I left from that was in the 60s.
60s. Okay. All right.
That was in 60. Let's see. Wait, when did Celia hit Corpus Christi?
I don't know.
I was at Livingston and I went to Corpus Christi when Celia hit.
Got you.
And I went that through national emergency. You know, I belonged to I didn't go in the service. I joined what they call the civil defense.
Yes, I've heard of that. So
That's
you were part of
emergency preparedness.
that. Yes.
I was into that.
What did you do for that?
Work whenever they needed some emergency work and stuff like that,
Okay.
you know.
Yes.
And then I got to be lieutenant.
Goodness.
And then that's when I went to Corpus Christi in 69. I went there. They relieved me from my job.
Got you.
I went there. And I had the key of the city when I got there with a group of men.
You had what? The key
I had
to
the
city?
key to the city.
Nice.
They turned everything over to us.
Wow. So
Yeah.
y'all took care of
And
it.
I stayed there a year.
Okay. All right.
Then I came back to Livingston
Okay.
in 77.
Livingston was in Port Arthur.
No, Orange, Texas.
Orange. Okay. All right.
I came back to my job.
Okay.
Then they had a strike.
Oh no.
That strike was lasting 3 months.
Wow.
So I started working on cars over here.
Yeah.
In my garage out there. It was a wooden garage
Okay.
at that time.
Right here in DeQuincy.
Yeah, here, right out there.
Okay.
Where the new shop is.
Got you. Okay.
I
I'm gonna get a
started-
picture of it.
I started there,
Okay.
fixing that, and then I was I had the insurance agency too at that time.
Really? So you were a mechanic and an insurance agent.
I had insurance agency
At
for
the same
19,
time.
right at 20 years. Wow. Yeah, for a company out of Opelousas. I started that here from zero.
Amazing.
From zero.
Now, when did you meet your first wife? When did you get married and meet your first
I
wife?
married, okay, well, that's the thing. I was seeing her for, oh Lordy, let's see, for over two years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was over 2 years
Yes.
after I met her.
Okay.
And she's from Grand Coteau, Louisiana. You heard of the
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
historical place.
Yes. Yes.
Our Lady of the Oak.
Absolutely.
And I used to go to retreat there.
Yes.
And so I decided to marry her in 1952.
Okay.
February 17th of 1952.
Got you.
I decided to marry her.
Very nice.
I was already here working.
Right. Yes.
Then I went there and moved to here.
Okay. All right.
I had so much happen to me.
Yes.
Okay. We hadn't too long married. Let's see, we had two babies.
All right.
We had Yvonne, the one I talked to.
Yes.
She was born in 53.
Okay.
January.
Okay. What day?
January the 26th.
All right. Okay.
That's when she was born.
All right.
Then we had the other one.
Yes.
Other one born in September the following.
54.
54.
Okay.
Baby, and so we had the two babies.
Got you.
And the house I was living in, Labor Day of 1955,
Yes.
we went to her parents.
Your wife's parents.
Right.
Okay.
They robbed my house here and they started a fire.
No.
And it burnt everything but the blocks.
What about your garage?
The car garage on the side of
So it wasn't burned, but the house was burned.
scorched it.
Oh my.
And so I had to start from zero.
Yes.
And when my brother came over there, told me, he said, well, you don't have no house to go back to. I said, what are you talking about?
Yes.
He said, your house burned flat down.
Goodness.
Your house burned flat down. Nothing left.
Oh goodness.
I'll never forget the word I said.
Yes.
Lord have mercy on me.
Yes.
And I was like, God answer me.
What did he say?
Just like if he said, like he answered me and say, yeah, I know your burden, know your trouble. And, okay. And from that time, looked like I felt different. You know, I didn't have nothing, and I just felt like it was something went through me, like a streak of lightning or something.
Wow.
And my wife and the two babies had to stick to their parents.
Okay.
And that's why I love DeQuincy.
Yes.
I was at the Ford company then.
Okay.
And I found hunting for a little old place to rent.
Okay.
I found something.
Okay.
And the gas company gave me a stove. Somebody gave me a refrigerator, give me a bed, mattress, and everything I could to put in that house. When they heard that I had burned down.
Yes.
And I started from that. But our God had blessed me from the beginning because look, I started buying land here.
Yeah.
At $100 a lot.
Wow. So at that time you started buying land?
When I came here.
How?
When I moved here.
You moved here and then
you moved here and I married.
Okay. Before the house burned down, you were buying land.
Buying land.
All right. And what happened with that?
Well, that's how I got started.
Got you. Okay.
I started selling the land.
Yes.
And I had one piece of land was almost 3 acres.
Wow.
And I got $1,800 for it. At that time, that was plenty money.
Yes. Yes, I know.
So the little old house I was staying in belonged to a white guy.
Okay.
And I told him I wanted that little old house.
Yes.
He said, well, boy, the house ain't that valued that much. I said, well, I'm going to try to fix it up for my family.
Okay.
I said, it needs a lot of fixing on it.
Yes.
And he said, well, it don't worth that much. But I'll tell you, I'll help you. You need help. He said, will you give me $1,600 for it? $1,600. I said, yes, sir. I said, let me see what I can do. I said, I'm going to see you tomorrow.
Okay.
I already had $1,600.
Yes.
And I bought that little place and stayed there until this place came available. Old man
Gotcha.
couldn't keep it up. This here out there, there was a milk dairy there.
Really?
I'll show you them grooves in there.
Thank you.
And they had a wash house and a washroom and everything in there.
Where the shed is now.
Yeah, and that where the shed is, the old building, you see the stone.
Yes.
Where they tore it down, that's
Right.
brand new there.
So it was a dairy, then it was your garage, now it's a shed. Okay.
That was
Wow.
that was the milk dairy.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the old man had a bunch of cattle. He owned it all of this.
Okay.
Where that house there, there was a daughter there
Okay.
in that house. They had two daughters, one daughter there, and the other house the old man had a daughter built there.
Gotcha.
Then they had a grandson built by my shop was.
Okay.
But then when he told me he had to sell out,
Okay.
and he said, I'd like for you to have that place. He said, yo, you got all them children.
Yeah.
He said, you need a place like that.
Yes.
So I said, well, listen. I said, he was shoemaker, Allen Shoemaker.
Okay.
I said, Mr. Shoemaker, I ain't got that no money. I said, I don't know if I could buy that place for you. He said, well, I'll give you a good deal on it. And at that time, I was working for that insurance company from
Yes.
Opelousas,
Yes.
you see.
Yes.
And I had the agents.
Okay.
Right, collected. I started and hired the agents to sell,
Yes.
giving them 75% all the write up
Yeah.
to start with.
Yeah.
And they was jumping at it. Every dollar they'd make, they get 75 cents.
Okay.
That was write ups,
Yes.
start up, and they went wild over that.
Yes.
So okay. I say, wait a minute here. I'm gonna talk to the president of the company.
Yes.
I told the president, and then he told me what he wanted for it.
Okay.
He told me, say, you give me $5,500, you can have the place.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
$5,500.
Yes. For
So-
a home.
Yeah, and the land.
Yes.
Yeah. So I told the president over there.
Yes.
He said, "What you can't buy too much or nothing for $5,500."
Exactly.
He said, "Well," he said, "listen, I'll be down there to look at it." So
Okay.
he came down here, and he said, "Well, $5,500 for all that land here." That land went all the way back there too. You know, I sold
Wow.
some of the land.
Okay.
I said, yes. He said, "I'll tell you what I want you to do." You,
It's all right.
he said, "Don't pass it up."
Okay.
He said, "What I want you to do is get from him. You got an attorney?" I said, "Yeah, I got Mr. Peyton Covington.
Okay.
You remember him?
I've heard the name, but
In Lake Charles.
okay.
Peyton Covington."
Peyton Covington. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he said, "Get his tile and abstract
Yes.
bring it to Mr. Peyton Coven and let him examine it
Yes.
and get it in order and get your title opinion
Okay.
on the property.
Okay.
And he said, because his children might have to sign or something.
Right.
So you got to do all that.
Yes.
So then I told him about it.
Okay.
And he said, well, I'll get them to sign.
Okay.
So the boy was living right there.
Okay.
He signed his piece of ground where he had donated to him or that shop at.
Yes.
He signed it back to him.
Okay.
And then here, he just went on and they put that for sale.
Okay.
But all the land in the back behind there,
Yeah.
that belonged to him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that when the title, the opinion came in and everything, it was too late because the daughter found out. The daughter told the daddy, said, I believe you sold the land. You sold it too cheap.
Okay.
But it was too late.
Yes.
The lawyer had done prepared the paper and everything.
Yes.
And that was it. That was the deal.
Yes.
So I got this place for $5,500.
Amazing. And you've been here ever since. What year was that?
That was in '66.
Got you. Okay.
I've been here since 1966.
Right. Okay.
I was waiting for Joe, that last one left out of here, that tall guy.
Yes.
I was waiting for him to get here. That was the caboose,
Nice. Okay.
the last kid.
The last child. Okay.
Uh-huh.
That's amazing.
And so after Eva got all right, we moved in. We was cleaning the house up and had it all fixed up. But the house wasn't this big.
Really? You added on?
All this other part
Okay.
back there was added to this house.
Did you do that, or did you have some people come?
Contractor did it.
Okay. All right.
Contractor, and this guy here, he passed away. He was from Vinton, done them cabinet and done this in here.
Nice.
That was done in 1978.
That looks wonderful. Okay.
In 78, he did that.
Very nice.
And he put that, you see how old that Magic Chef is?
Yes.
Double oven?
Yes.
That's 58. That's how old that is.
That's.
Yes. Yeah,
That's
that guy knows his business, ain't he?
Yes, he does. Yes.
He built that all outside, yeah.
Right out here, and then
Out
you
here
brought
and
in.
put that in here.
That's amazing.
Yes, that guy did that.
That's a good carpenter. That's a good contractor.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, so,
Well, good.
and this house, I got to, this go, we got so much I got to show you.
Yes. Yes.
You know, my plaques and stuff.
Yes. We're going to take a look at that.
But go ahead.
Growing up, did you have any mentors, people that, taught you things and that helped you through life?
My auntie, mama's sister,
Okay. What was her name?
Louise Boutte. She had married one of them red-bone Indians from Virginia.
Really?
You heard of them?
I've heard of them, but I've never met a Redbone Indian.
Them own that big casinos out there.
Yes.
At Sheridan over there?
Yes. Yes.
Right. Generate, Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Bouteville, they got it there.
Got you.
They got their own place, Bouteville there.
Very nice.
And my auntie married one of them.
Okay.
Then I went to them to live with them to go to school.
Really?
That's how I had a chance to get a 7th grade education.
Okay.
My older brother and sister, they didn't get no education.
Okay.
Because the little school they had was 3 miles from the house.
Wow.
And then they had to walk them 3 miles.
Of course.
So they left before daylight in the morning and come back at night.
Yes. Good.
And I went to my auntie. She just felt for me. And that was my mentor. Got me started. And she was working for some people. And they had an little bicycle that boy had. And that's what I started with.
Gotcha.
Now that's what I would ride to school with. I
Yes.
wasn't far from the school, living with her.
That's good.
And I'd ride that bike and then go to that mechanic shop and clean up
Yes. Yes.
and come back home and be dark sometime
Okay, of course. Yeah.
on a gravel road.
Wow.
When you see a car coming, you have to get off of your bike
Yes.
and hit the ditch.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And then I was blessed when I got 16 years of age. That's when I was blessed to have a car.
Nice.
My brothers, my 4 brothers, they helped me get me a car, and it was a 38 model Ford.
Wow.
And that man wanted $500 for that car. And they bought that car for me.
That's good brothers. That's great brothers.
And
Definitely.
that's how close we were.
Yes.
And then I had a car then.
Okay. That's amazing.
Then that's when I went to work.
Got you.
You see, that's when I went to work in Appaloosa.
That's right. That's right.
Go to DC.
Yes. Yes.
And my sister was working. Oldest sister worked it for them.
Okay.
And that gave this neighbor a chance, the neighbor's daughter, a chance to get her education because that technical college there in Appaloosa.
Yes.
What's the name of it again?
I'm not sure of the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, wait. As good as I know that name and can't call it.
Goodness.
And can't call.
Not St. Landry, or it's not.
No. As good as I know the name of the place, I can't call it just right up.
Okay.
Just right off. Yeah. And then I brought her there
Okay.
every day and brought her back to her parents. That was one of their little daughters. They was a white family.
Yes.
And she had 2 years.
Wow.
And then she went to work for the VMD there in Appaloosa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And at that time, I'm going to tell you something. At that time, I couldn't ride in the car with her, just me and her.
That's right.
At that time, black and white couldn't be.
Yeah. In the same car.
No.
Same, yeah.
No, you couldn't. That's right.
Yes.
Because one of my cousins was working for a guy that had a club over there.
Okay.
And he would go to town all the time.
Okay.
And his daughter sometime would ride to town and they'd go do some shopping.
Okay.
And you know, he served a whole year in jail behind that.
Really?
And then he had to leave Appaloosa. Then he went to Texas. Yet he came back later on after civil rights passed and he died there. But that was the way it was.
I'm glad times have changed.
Let me tell you one thing. I done a lot of things since 64.
Yeah.
Yes. I made a big change, my life changed, because then I was free all the time. I mean, I felt free all my life,
Yeah.
but I never felt like I was a slave.
Okay.
I didn't ever feel that, had that feeling of being a slave.
Got you.
I felt free all my life
That's
because I figured the talents that God had given me, that was enough for me to survive.
That's
And I could do things.
yes.
You see, he gave me a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I started to see, if you didn't know that I belonged to the NAACP, I wouldn't have had no job.
Really?
No, because I'll never forget that little teacher had belonged to the NAACP. They found out and they fired her. Yeah, the teachers couldn't belong to the organization. So when I joined the NAACP, Dr. King was at Morehouse University.
Yes. Yes.
So
Knew about that.
So I was involved before he got involved. And his first episode, you know his first episode.
Trying to think.
His first episode was Rosa Parks
Yes. Yes.
on that bus
On that
to
bus.
work.
Yes.
They used to catch that bus to work.
Yes.
And if they had a seat, when the white people started getting on the bus,
Yes.
you had to get up and go back.
To the back. And she
Go
didn't.
back.
Yes.
And she did that a many times.
Yes.
And one day, she said, Lord, I ain't getting up no more. She stayed there. And she got put in jail.
Yes.
See what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. And that's when Martin Luther King.
That's when he
began.
started. That's when he got involved.
Yes.
That's when he started.
Yes.
Started protesting that.
Yes.
And then he had them, you know how they went to work? They started pulling and stopped riding the bus.
Ah.
So that bus company was going bankrupt
Yes.
without no rider.
Yes. That's the way to do it.
And then this is how they got to where when they decided they wanted to, but the bus company had to go to them.
Really?
Go to them in order to get them back.
Yes. And they got him back.
Got them back and end up had a black driver on a bus.
Wow.
On a bus.
Yes.
And that has never happened.
Progress.
And as you know, I was the third one of color drove the school bus here.
Really? I didn't know that.
I was the third
Okay.
person
That's-
here.
Yes. So
I was the
you're-
third one.
That's wonderful.
And I had my shop. It's not that I needed that job, but I was doing it to try to
Yeah.
do what I was supposed to do.
Yes.
See, I was working for civil rights.
That's it.
And I
Yes.
do things to help my people. And I trained them how to drive the bus and everything.
Yeah.
And when I left, they had a new bus for me. I hadn't rode that bus for 2 months.
Really?
But my name was on the bus.
Yes.
And I just got it for somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah. So I had a girl who was driving.
Yeah.
She was a white girl.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, well, you gonna have a job, look like. She was next in line on the substitute list.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so she had the bus.
Very nice.
And that was it. I was 66 years old then.
Goodness.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And then you see, I was 66. And then you see, and I also done school safety.
What is that?
Took over the crossing for the kids.
Crossing, of course.
Crossing
yes.
took
When did
over.
you do that?
I took over that 95.
And was that at the high school or the?
I was over the whole schools here.
Wow. My goodness.
So, yes.
That's
And so
wonderful.
that went till 2018.
So from 95 to 2018, you were a school crossing guard, Mr. Amos, and you were retired.
Yeah. And I was at the school, and when I was married,
Yeah.
they didn't want me to quit. I
Really?
told them I was moving to Lake Charles. They said, well, I'll get you a job in Lake Charles. So they put me at Brentwood Elementary School.
I know
on the
Brentwood.
back.
Absolutely.
On the back, the reason why they did that, I had to have a knee replacement. And you see, I was with the sheriff's department from 1957. All that time until
I knew you were because when I talked to Major Jerry Bell, he said you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
I worked with him 26 years in the city.
Great man, both of you.
I went to work before he went into service. I was there. I was a reserve for the city.
That's wonderful. So you were at Brentwood for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
The time I was with Mary, it was a little over 3 years.
Okay.
And when she passed away, well, then that the kids, she had made a trust to her kids.
Okay.
And I didn't want to give them no trouble, whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I took care of the place.
Okay.
From 2016 to 18.
Okay. All right.
And I took care of the place, a beautiful place.
Nice.
East subdivision with all them big houses that before you get to Gautier Road.
Yes.
We had one that she had one of them.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That was a $500,000 house she was in. And it was on Raleigh Newman Road. You know that was Raleigh Newman settlement.
Yes.
The name of the street was 6519 Raleigh.
Okay.
And she had the big house and the guest house.
Nice.
There.
Okay.
Beautiful place.
Yes.
The place had marble floors in it.
Did y'all live there?
Yeah, yeah, that was her own. She owned that.
Okay.
She came from California.
Gotcha.
She retired at City Bank in California with 42 years.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
And she had 2 houses in California.
Okay.
She sold the 2 houses.
Okay.
She came here and bought that place from a doctor.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when I met her.
Okay.
3 years after my wife passed away.
Sure. Yeah.
I met this God.
Yes. Yeah.
Through my cousin.
Okay.
Through my cousin.
Okay.
Yeah. My cousin had married a husband's niece.
Okay. All right.
And that's how I met her.
Interesting. Okay.
He talked to her all the time and tell her about me.
Yes.
And then he gave me her phone number.
Okay.
And I took my time calling her. I took my time. I wasn't in no hurry.
Right.
Because I had lost my wife and I was busy with everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Lord, I'm going to tussle it out.
Yeah.
And I'm on this God will, I find somebody.
Okay.
You know, and I didn't want, it wouldn't have to be anybody.
Yes.
You know?
Right. Right.
Anybody.
Yes.
If I got a person, I wanted a person to have the knowledge that we're going to pull together.
Yes.
And don't try to change me from who I am.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm with her.
Yes.
And she wasn't that type of person. She came with me every time she could.
Very nice.
Different function, you know, with the Night of Columbus.
Nice.
You know, I was crying with the patriotism degree or the 4th degree with the Night of Columbus.
Yes.
I've been in it all the time. Started the council.
Goodness.
Right here.
Here. Okay.
Started.
Lady of La Salette, is that the...
Right
okay.
there.
Okay.
I started the council there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
Father Donahue would build a church, and he passed away right after he built that church.
Really?
So then I gave the Night of Columbus in Atlanta.
Nice.
I started it in 3 of us.
Okay.
That's all. Started it from scratch.
Yes.
With myself, and then the banker.
Okay.
He was the banker was the financial secretary.
Okay.
And then there's another guy that was with it, Joe Mueller.
Okay, I've heard the name.
Mueller, he's the name on that big new building.
Maybe
I
that's
had
it.
that building built, you know.
Really?
That one back at the church.
Yes.
And I had that built.
You had it built?
Yeah, I had that built while I was grand knight.
My goodness.
Yeah.
You've done so much, Mr. Amos. You have helped this.
And then I was the financial secretary.
Okay.
And that's how we started the charter with us. And we started recruiting.
Yeah.
And that's how we got started the Night of Columbus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Great service.
Then when they built the church, I was right there with them when they broke ground there
Nice.
to build the church.
Nice.
Because the church became a parish of, a La Salette
Right.
in 1955.
Okay. I was wondering what year. Okay.
55.
Wow.
And
So
I was
it's been there a
right
while.
there with them.
That's amazing.
Know all the priests when we started, Father Villard.
I've heard the name.
They're all gone, and
Yeah.
Father Sherigan.
Okay.
All of them, I was involved with all of them. Father Ed.
Okay.
Yeah, Bruna, they gone too.
Yes.
Yes, and
That's.
yeah.
Thank you for that. That's very.
Been in that church.
Yes.
Yes, and then we had the pantry system. You heard of it?
The what?
Food pantry.
Pantry. Yes. Okay.
With Thanksgiving, we had all them boxes for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
I started on that with them. That's over 50 years. And I have the clothes.
The clothes drive. Yes.
We got a clothes closet there. Give coats for every kid. And the one that if we couldn't find a coat to fit them, if I know they needed a coat,
Yes.
I just go get them a coat. Yeah. I wanted every kid to have a coat if it was cold. Some of them children come there shaking. Where your coat? I can't find it.
Yes.
Had to get them a coat and stuff.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And then I partnered education on the schools too,
You did what?
Partnering education with.
Really? You did, or
Yeah.
Knights of Columbus, or
No, me.
you
My
partner in
business.
education?
My business, my paint and body shop.
Yes. Okay.
See.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What schools? What schools did you partner?
I had the primary school.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
had it.
Okay.
They had a sign put up there. Well, I had put up there, shipping the mind of the future.
Nice. Just like you do with cars, you're shaping them.
Yeah, shipping the mind of the future.
That's excellent.
That's what my motto was.
That's a great motto.
And my motto on my cars
Okay.
was "You been 'em, we meant 'em."
I love your poetic license here. I like that you're a poet, because that's got a nice rhyme to it. So.
Yes, I've been here.
Thank you, Mr. Amos.
That's how I got my foundation through the Acts of the Apostles.
Really okay.
That's why you see I got a DeQuincy Community Act Foundation.
Yes.
If we do what Acts say,
Yes.
we strong.
Yes.
And God will reward us.
Yes.
God reward you for your deeds.
Yes.
What you do.
The helpful deed.
What you do. The ones that need you, don't think about what you can get out of it. Is what
Right.
you can put in.
Give to others.
Amen. I
That's-
believe in that.
I also.
I give and don't worry about what coming back because I
Right.
know.
That's it.
I never had to beg.
Get everything from God and we give.
I never had to beg. God has given me everything. I see what I needed.
Yes.
Needed more than what I know.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Bless me with more than enough I could help somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in golf cart business with my cousin.
Really?
You see the one out there?
I didn't see it. Oh, there. Okay, I see it now. Yes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a business with your cousin.
With my cousin, I'm in with him.
What do y'all sell them to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one there. You just brought that one and picked the one up and sold one.
Okay.
I had another and he sold it, brought me another one.
Nice.
Then mine is in the front.
Okay.
I got it special, customized, with lights and everything, just like a car.
Really?
Yeah, I got signal lights, the
my
brake
God.
lights, horns, everything on it.
That's
Emergency light. He's a technician.
okay.
I mean, he is a A1 technician. that cousin of mine.
Yeah. Well, it runs in the family. You were very good.
We got a beautiful place there in DeRidder.
Nice.
Oh yeah, the DeRidder Cart.
The DeRidder what?
DeRidder Cart.
Okay. All
You
right.
ever thought about getting one of them?
I thought about it, but our house is too small. We don't need it around our area, But I have cousins who live on large pieces of land.
Yeah.
They have some,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's I ride in them, but I don't have one.
Well, I can give you you can put I'm gonna let you put it in your phone.
Thank you.
It's business in your phone
Thank
before you leave.
I will. I will.
Yeah. Then some of your friends might want one called. You can just call
Thank
me. You got my call.
I would love that.
And-
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't put it out to the street this morning,
Okay.
but it's a 2022.
Okay. Okay.
It's in A1. It's just like new.
Okay. All
You
right.
can see it ain't never been on no dirt road or nothing. It's still like new.
It's like brand new. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
Well, that's what I use to go to the center
Okay.
when the weather's good,
Yes.
because I can't do no walking for long distance with them knees.
Yeah, the knees, exactly.
And then so I got my walker,
Okay.
high wheel walker.
Yes.
I put it on that back of the got like a little trailer back there.
Yes.
Put it on there and buckle it down, and that makes a seat.
Nice.
And
Nice.
yeah, well that's mine.
That's good.
I got a special one.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Mr. Amos, your descendants are going to see this for years and decades to come. What would you like to tell them? What would you like to say about your life? And
Well, one thing I can say, God have greatly blessed me.
amen.
All what I've been through, I never had to beg for anything.
That's
Huh?
amazing. Yes. That's wonderful.
And I raised the 7 children and educated them all.
That's
Bought 7 cars.
good.
Everyone finished high school, went to college in their own car.
That is a huge.
I did that much.
You did.
I
amazing.
never waste my labor.
Yes.
I never was a drinker, never was a gambler or nothing like that.
Yes.
Never was a smoker.
Nice. So that's
All
the
I
secret.
did, I was just trying to live my life pleasing to God. That's my aim,
Great advice.
you know.
Yes.
If I can please God, I know I'm all right.
Very much.
You know, and it's like I say, vengeance is mine, said the Lord. I shall repay. But then, the people that was against me,
Yes.
that have done me wrong,
Yes.
I ask God to forgive them, because I never forget the word that Christ used when they were traveling down the Damascus road to Jerusalem, when all the people were sick, blind, lame, everything,
Yes.
and they were calling on Jesus' name, and Jesus had his disciples following him,
Yes.
and they were disturbed by all the noise.
Yes.
And Christ spoke. He said, "Let them be. Sick people need a doctor."
Yes. That's a beautiful. Thank you for that.
Sick people need a doctor.
Yes.
So a lot of time people will offend you and not really knowing they're doing that.
Yes.
But it's how you feel about it.
Yes.
If something comes to you and it's disagreeable to you, you know that person need help.
great point.
You know that.
Yes, you do.
Huh?
Yes,
If he didn't need help, why would he offend you?
exactly.
What's bothering him? Something going on inside of him. And I like to talk to people when they have a problem. When they want to talk to me. If you got trouble.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I'm not God, but I can tell you how to, who can fix it.
Yes.
You see?
That's an incredibly wide.
I love for people to talk to me when they feel that there's something wrong with them.
Mr. Amos, that's a beautiful, beautiful way to approach life.
Because what he done for me, he could do it for you.
Exactly. Yes. I agree.
That's what I say.
I totally agree. That's beautiful.
I have a message for everybody to talk to me. I never had nobody talk to me that I couldn't say a kind word to them and to lift them up. See, a kind word will turn wrath.
Yes, it will.
See?
Yes.
Right.
Mr. Amos, it is an honor to be speaking to you, and that is a wonderful way to approach life, and I appreciate
Well,
that. Is there anything else that that you would
No.
want to share?
unless you have any questions to ask.
You've answered so many, and you've
Well-
given me so many incredible experiences that you've had, and I'm just, like I said, humbled and honored.
I just tell them all, if you lost and you want to find a way, you know who can bring. You go to God, and God will show you the way.
It means a lot coming from
Will
you.
show you the way.
Yes, I've seen that. Mr. Amos,
Yeah.
thank you so much for this. Phone's ringing, but thank you very much.
Let's read it again.